Eric Swanson, City Manager, the great city of Talladega, Alabama, here with Mr. Boyd McGee, Talladega Insurance. Mr. McGee, tell us something a little bit about Talladega Insurance and the history and why are you sitting in this seat?
That's a loaded question. um, I would probably have to go back to my great grandfather,
Wow.
Turner Joel Jones, and he purchased the agency in the 20s.
Oh, wow.
The agency, we used to say, was founded in 1858, and through some research, we found out through a book that's in Montgomery called Alabama Acts of 1856 to 1858 that we were founded, I believe, in February of 1856,
Wow.
which places us as the oldest agency in Alabama and the second oldest agency in the United States. So we have some special things coming up with regards to that we're excited about. But back to the family genealogy of the agency. After World War II, or somewhere towards the end of World War II, my grandparents met in Annapolis, Maryland at a USO dance.
Oh, wow.
My grandmother was from Talladega and my grandfather was from Montgomery. And they went back to Montgomery after they were married after the war, and my grandmother missed Talladega. So they came back to Talladega, and my grandfather began working for his father-in-law. And then my father went to college at the University of Alabama, majoring in insurance and risk management, and came back and worked for the agency. And then my sister actually came back and worked for the agency for a while. We had a branch in um, Foley, Alabama. I'm looking over at Theresa, who's also my part of my brain, and we had that agency, and my sister Katie McGee Collins ran that, and then she moved on into other ventures and is in real estate now. But then I came back in 2004. So February 2024 hit 20 years for me here. So that's kind of the history of the agency and how it's come about and how we're all here and have been here. So
Now, you all hear that great history of Talladega Insurance, but how long have you been affiliated and serving the great city of Talladega?
well, I think anybody that's from Talladega would probably tell you that they began serving the minute they came into Talladega because Talladega is always willing to take anyone that is willing to help. And I came back here in February 2020, February 2004, and I think the next day Jake Montgomery, Stringer Montgomery Law Firm, picked me up to go to a Rotary meeting, and the next day after that, Joel Elliott, who's a cousin of mine, picked me up to go to a Kiwanis Club meeting, and uh, let's see, Donnie Miller's mother, Pat Miller, came and got me to go to a Red Cross meeting. And I think Martha Boyd had me at the Boys and Girls Club. Um, and the Ritz Theater, my father being someone that was very passionate about the Ritz Theater, had me very involved in that. So, I mean, probably the minute I got here, was immediately recruited to get involved in any way, form, and fashion, just like anybody else that moves here, works here, cares about here. So,
Outstanding. Provide the community with what exactly offerings do you have, and really what is Talladega Insurance to the community? What do you offer?
that is a great question, and a question probably any independent agent would like to be asked. We are what we call an independent agency, and that means that we own our agency and we represent multiple carriers with which to shop our prospects and or clients their insurance with. So we are not a one-stop shop where we only have one company where we work for just one company, and we have multiple companies, multiple contracts, hundreds of contracts, and if you count all lines of coverage, whether it be workman's compensation, whether it be general liability, property, umbrella, homeowners, auto, your jewelry, your guns, your art, any kind of line of coverage that you can imagine. If you're building a building, builder's risk. So with those different lines of coverage, there are specialists that write those different lines of coverage, and it is our job as independent insurance agents to obtain the contracts to write those businesses, and not just one, but hopefully multiple ones, because companies in this day and time don't always stay afloat. They may get gobbled up by another company or dissolve or pull out of this state and move into a different state. So it's our job to have multiple options for our clients, and that's something we pride ourselves on here at Talladega Insurance Agency, is that we have multiple options for our clients, whether it be just a home or it's a contractor.
I guess by listening to you, because I saw the passion when we met. I mean, is there. There's bloodline, and you decided to say, I'm going to stick with that bloodline. So I can say that you have a love for Talladega, Alabama. Why is that so important? That sharing of love, and that's something I'm going to get into in a second. How is your love for Talladega? Why is it so strong? Why is that love for Talladega? And you're here, so it has to be a love. So what is it that love that you have for Talladega, Alabama?
Have you ever known something that you knew was special that you felt like a lot of people didn't? You know what I mean? And I think that's one of the things about Talladega. I was telling Miss Sue that if I told you that I just got back from a place that I visited on vacation, and to the east of that place they had the highest point in the entire state. To the south of that place they had a historic Indian cave that goes on, it seems like, for miles, and has a beautiful light show, and they have walking mazes and panning for gold and toilet seat riding and all different kinds of things for kids to do. And to the west you had lakeside living and a beautiful lake and vacation homes and whatnot. And to the north you had the only professional sport in the entire state. And in the town you had historic homes all over the place with historic businesses. And then you had the oldest African American college with the Amistad murals that have traveled the entire world, that anybody that has seen it has been completely impressed by, and the history that comes out of the college with the inventions and the things that have happened there, to what's going on the square with the revitalization from a certain person that has taken a special interest, and we've been very lucky to have that. It sounds like, if I told you that, it sounded like a place you'd visit. And it's and what's great about what you're doing, and what I think every person from Talladega wishes is how to get that out, into the world, and marketed in the right way to the right people.
Now, in saying that, this is that campaign for me, is We Love Talladega campaign, because for everything that you've said, I had no idea, except for a few of the jewels or nuggets. Some people say golden nuggets, and I'm going to say golden nuggets, that this community offered until I got here. Heard about them, but even when I got here, there's so much more to Talladega than they just don't know.
Right.
So my thing of what you just said, how do we get the people and the community on one page to say, we love Talladega? And therefore, I can't do it by myself. It's going to take someone like yourself for you to pass it on to others to say, let's get together, put aside everything else, because the bigger picture is we want them to come see firsthand what we have to offer. Now, in saying that, I have this lady named Miss Sue, who is probably one of the best I ever seen at what she do. I mean, she I don't want to toot her horn, but she's the best I've seen.
You can toot her
I
horn
can
because
toot her horn.
I'll
Toot,
toot her
toot,
horn for you.
toot, toot. Then we
Because
gonna toot her
I've been
horn.
able to work with her for a while now.
But she is fantastic as far as making sure not only I'm doing this and other things, but I told her about the We Love Talladega campaign, and trust me, it is moving. Now, in saying that, I said, well, what can we also do on certain things to actually get that vitality where people really, and this is just a start, no exact order, right? It'll be this. This is one going to be one symbol, and just showing you one of them. I hand off this one to you. Because we have to love, either this thing is going to say we love Talladega or we're going to love historic. That's not decided. And these where you got diamonds on here is just, the red diamond represents so much. And it actually is talking about power. It actually talking about communication as far as what we're trying to do to get our message across, and pride. And that's what this is actually is representing. And we want them to come back to visit. Anyone who visit here, but we got to be ready as a community to receive. A lot of times we forget in our community exactly how rich in history and everything this community is. But we don't. We know it. I know it for a fact, and I'm standing behind it 150% to say we need the world to come see this. And everybody is putting together just, their pieces, and they're doing every single thing. And we want you to visit our website because it's going to be fine-tuned to make sure that it's actually saying that we're ready. So my love for this community, and decided is it going to be the seal or is it going to be the logo? But either way, it's going to be official, and we're going to move forward with our campaign that we love this community, and we want you to love your own community, respect it. We want you to really respect it. And in saying that, how can they get in contact with travelers if they want service from you all? How do they get in contact with you?
We actually have our webpage. You can actually request a quote.
I'll take that's fine. Go ahead.
Facebook, uh, simple phone call. Uh, but we're not hard to find. We're kind of across all platforms that you have to be and need to be available.
If they had to call you, how can they do that? What's that phone number?
256-362-4153. And it'll give you a list of whether if you want a home and auto quote, or you need to speak to someone commercially, or bonds, or anything like that, or claims.
Now, website wise, is it a simple website? What can they do for the
I
website?
wish it was.
Okay.
I wish it was. But the beauty of talking to people from Talladega is I don't have to spell out Talladega. So it's www.talladega-insurance.com. It's a mouthful, which means our email addresses are as well. But that was formed a long time ago when the web first came out. But my father was very big on technology, and so we formed that email address in the very early days. We went paperless in 1992. And when COVID hit, we were ready. We were already VoIP phones and laptops and whatnot.
Sure.
So it's the main thing is, and being able to do that is having people that have been here, and we don't have turnover. Anybody that I feel like anybody that'll tell you that has their business here will tell you they know the CSRs that work on their accounts. They know they're professionals. They know they're very well educated, and they know coverage. So that's how we're still here.
Hey, that is outstanding. Is there anything that you want to add or say about Talladega Insurance that the community want and the world?
I wouldn't say it about Talladega Insurance. I think that there are a lot of people in town that are just like I am. You can walk into the bank and you'll see 100 people that care about this town. You'll see a lot of manufacturing places that have people that care about this town. And I would just say that we have new leadership now in you.
Yes, sir.
And I've met with you.
Yes, sir.
And I know that you're for real and that you're here. And I'm not just saying that because you're sitting here. I'm saying that because I know that you mean business, and you're ready to get things done.
Yes, sir.
And so I would just say to all the people that do care, because there's so many,
It is.
and you can go to any function and you'll see the same faces that are trying constantly.
Exactly. Right.
There are a lot of doers here that try really hard,
Yes.
and I think they'll see that we've got a breath of fresh air. We got somebody that's here to work,
Yes, sir.
and you're our leader. So we're
Wow.
excited to have you, and we're excited to see where it goes.
That's touching. I mean, really, because I really take this to heart. I mean, honestly, this is something I have seen that this community has embraced me like no other, and I am happy to be here. I put in the late nights because it means something to me. To
I
make
got a call back from you at 6 something in the evening, so I know you. I know you
I
mean
was
that.
still
I know you're still working,
I
which
was
was great.
still working, and I'd be there sometimes to 9 or 10 at night, and not because I have to, because I want to. You know, and I take this very serious as making sure that uh, I want everyone to know that I'm working hard. I'm out here making sure that I represent you all well. But in closing, this place, this great city, we're gonna turn it around. I can't do this in saying this. I can't do this by myself. This is gonna take a community, because all of the great people, and I can do, if I start naming, I'll keep naming and I'll keep naming, but everybody know who you are as far as when you give back to this community, to give back truly. Because once you visit Talladega, it's a great place to live, work, learn, and play. And in saying that, I'm going to conclude that I love Talladega, we love Talladega, and I want you to love it as well.